What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Post Pro podcast. It's episode 42. It's April Fool's Day. It's opening day for baseball. I am pumped and excited. We got movie news to talk about. We were gone for a week, but we are back. The Snyder Cut has come out. Sebastian and I will give our thoughts on that. Oh, yeah. Godzilla vs. Kong came out yesterday. I gotta get watching that soon. And let's hop right into the movie news. We were talking about right before, probably the biggest news coming as of late. Netflix buys 2 Knives Out sequels with Rian Johnson and Daniel Craig for 400 to 450 million buckos. That is a lot of money.
I mean, I hope they make it back.
I think they will. I mean, considering how well the first one did.
Yeah, I just Knives Out. I just never would have expected them to snipe that, but I mean,
sequel, like, what's gonna happen? Because they said that's gonna be completely new. But the only thing returning is Daniel Craig.
Yeah, so they might turn it into a
Orient Express,
Poirot, sort of series where it's like Daniel Craig's character going around mysteries.
I'm Daniel Craig. I'm investigating the murder at the Oriental Express.
There you go. Wow, another amazing impersonation by Sebastian. Round of applause.
I know. I know. I know.
What was his
just doesn't miss.
I already forgot his character's name. It was
something Blanc.
Yeah. It was
Benoit, like I just said 3 times.
Oh, Benoit. Sorry. Well, we couldn't hear you, Noah. We were all talking. Sorry.
Well, that's why I repeated myself.
Yeah. So Benoit Blanc. All right. Other than that, I saw that Venom 2 got pushed back.
Yeah. Well, so did
pushed back another week.
So did Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat got pushed back as well. So
also the Resident Evil movie got pushed back as well.
Oh,
I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah, it got pushed back from September to November.
Okay. Well, it's a loss for us all.
That's a big loss for me.
Big loss. Yeah, the only other thing I had written down was an interesting statistic. Apparently, a data website came out and said that only 36% of viewers of the Snyder Cut actually finished the movie in its first week, which I thought was kind of funny.
That's kind of bizarre, actually, because I fucking sat down and watched the entire fucking thing.
Well, I mean, you're a fan, you know.
Yeah, but that's still kind of crazy considering.
I assume most big fans would, watch it in one go, but then everyone else is kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm an hour in and we still have 3 to go. What am I gonna do? Watch the rest? No.
We'll talk about what I thought later, but it didn't really bother me that much.
Oh yeah, neither did I. I made it through. Anyone else have any movie news? Because I don't.
I did.
Not to write things down.
I did have an interesting one. This involves the Godzilla Kong stuff. So the Skull Island movie that we got in what was it, 2017? 16, like that, right? It was supposed to be directed by the Godzilla vs. Kong director, Mr. Adam Wingard, and it was supposed to be a sequel to Peter Jackson's King Kong.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
But it didn't happen. Yeah. So, oh well.
Yeah.
And that's all I got. We had a new Spiral trailer. We had the Suicide Squad trailer. Then a batshit insane trailer came out for Dynasty Warriors. If anyone saw that shit is fun.
No. It's a Dynasty Warriors movie.
Yeah, the game. It's coming out in China.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's a hack and slash game that they have adapted into a movie, and it stars all these like famous Chinese like martial artists, and it looks fucking absolutely just bonkers off the fucking wall. Like that shit. I thought it was an April Fool's joke when I saw it, but then I realized it wasn't April Fool's yet, and I had to watch it, and I was like, dude, this is just fucking insane. So good luck China on that one. I'm sure it's gonna make a shit ton of money. Also, Godzilla and Kong made made the best quarantine box office already. It's at like 200 million.
I mean, it makes sense that like most blockbusters are going to make more money than the last. You know, at least for a
Yeah,
little while.
well, yeah, but just talking about Tenet, how like Tenet kind of like it underperformed, and somehow Godzilla is doing better than Tenet already.
Well, I mean, the
Someone
vaccine's out
goes,
now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
true,
it's not
true.
like it was when Tenet released.
Well,
the
the U.S. vaccine's out. There's different vaccines in the countries. Like Britain has one that's like different.
Well,
They
sure,
don't even
exactly.
have-
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like they didn't have that back when Tenet was out. So
Well, like,
yeah, Tenet's getting re-release. I think I heard. I think they're re-releasing
Really?
it.
I
Yeah.
would
I thought
assume so.
I thought it was still in theaters, honestly.
Or
No.
either way.
I heard they were re-releasing it again.
Okay, I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
But yeah, that's it. Wonder incredible movie news week. Because I had absolutely nothing.
All right,
other than
well, let's just hop into what we watched.
I watched like 4 things.
All right, well, Sebastian, remember you got to go last because it was
I know.
for this episode.
It was a slow week for me, dude.
Yeah. How about Noah? Start it off.
Okay.
Is that right?
Okay. Yeah, I gotta pull it up. All right. Well, I mean, I have it up. I just gotta get to the appropriate location, which is Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation. Not allowed to say, so I'm just gonna skip that. Still like it. Beverly Hills Cop. Watched for the first time. It's all right, but I wish it. So the weird thing about it is it was like written originally as just like straight up a crime thriller for like Stallone. I forget if it was like for specifically Stallone or just like a Stallone type, you know. And then like last minute, like Eddie Murphy came in and it just became a comedy, but they didn't really like rewrite a lot of it. So most of the comedy is just from like Murphy's reactions to things, which are kind of funny. But I don't know. I just wish it had been like more of an outright comedy, which is obviously impossible given the situation. But whatever. Eon Flux, not super good. I don't know. It has its defenders. Whatever. Sullivan's Travels, which honestly I mostly watched because it's a movie that the Coen brothers talk about like all the time, and I feel like a few other people as well that I'm forgetting. But anyway, it's pretty good, and you can certainly see why they talk about it a lot. Beautiful Mind, good. Honestly, like Russell Crowe's worst performance that I've seen, and I've seen.
Really?
I don't know. I feel like he's one of those guys.
You don't like that? You don't like that movie?
No, it's not. It's not good. I mean,
Well, what didn't you like about it? It's been like literally like probably like 8 years since I've seen it. So.
I mean, the plot is bad. Ron Howard is not a good director. He's only been involved in like one good project. I mean, Russell Crowe's performance, like I said, bad. His accent is also just like one of those like, why? I mean, obviously why, because it's a biopic, but.
Didn't he get nominated? Did he win the Oscar? Did he get?
Yeah, he did. I'm pretty sure he won the Oscar.
This also won Best Picture, right?
It won something. I remember.
I know it was big in the Oscars that year.
It was
I
definitely
think
nominated for like a lot of shit.
I think it might have won Best Picture.
Right.
It won Best Picture, Best
nominated
Director.
for Best Actor.
Yeah. It won Best Picture, Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah. So who won that year? Is it like? It's not
For Best Actor? Whatever.
It was probably like Jared Leto or something.
Yes, it was probably Jared Leto.
I'm pretty sure Jared Leto actually has an Oscar, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He does,
supporting for
Yeah, Denzel for Training.
Dallas.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Denzel for Training did. That's right. Yeah.
Man, Dallas. Objectively an awful performance. And like, man, sure.
I don't think objectively, 'cause I mean, you have to get the Oscars somehow. People
Well,
like that performance. I haven't seen it, so I don't
It's
really
not.
know.
It's not good.
Wait,
Like,
what
as
are you
someone
talking
who's
about now?
not a fan,
I
Dallas
was
Buyers
talking about
Club.
Dallas Buyers Club.
Oh, I thought Jared Leto was pretty good in that.
Right. You probably like this movie then. A Beautiful Mind.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like Ed Harris and Paul Bettany are kind of good. Man, I'm looking at the cast. Completely forgot Christopher Plummer was in it, so I guess he's not good.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. I mean, Jennifer Connelly's like all right in a fairly underwritten role. I don't know. It's just one of those like, why did you make this movies? But whatever. It also looks really bad. Throw Mama from the Train, a Danny DeVito movie. On the other hand, honestly pretty good. It's sort of one of those movies when you're watching it, you're like, what? Like Clifford or something, or like the Book of Henry, I guess. But like in a good way. Anyway, it's pretty fun. It's also, I don't know, I'm super interested in like movies from the 80s and 90s where you can't tell if like the screenwriters were like super sexist and hateful, or if the movie is sort of like a satire of that sort of behavior, and just like every single character is sexist and hateful. And this is certainly one of those. So, pretty fun phenomenon. The Killing of a Sacred Deer. Thumbs up. Honestly, not really a lot to say. Like, oh yeah, okay. So I was having not like a bad day, I guess, just like not a great day. And obviously this was on my watch list for a while. So I was just kind of like, feeling like weird. So I was just might as well throw this on, because it's not like it's going to ruin my day or anything.
Yeah.
And then somehow it did. So, yeah, I mean, like even worse than I was expecting, which is crazy.
Nice.
It's a good one. That's my favorite Yorgos Lanthimos movie.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I like The Favorite a lot. It's kind of hard to rank those two. And then Lobster is just beneath that. Then I haven't seen anything else. But yeah, I mean, I like it, like I said. Porco Rosso, rewatch. It's really fun. If you like Casablanca, it's a great movie. It is. It's a great movie. I mean, I don't know. It's like a very specific, what do you call it? Homage, I guess, to old Hollywood. I was going to say satire, but that's not right. Yeah, sort of like homage to old Hollywood movies, and done with a talking pig at the center, and that's great. Yeah. Gremlins rewatched. Honestly, mostly just to confirm my opinion. I'm like, this is not great, right? And it wasn't. So
You don't like Gremlins, dude?
No,
Oh no, dude, not Gremlins. Come
You kill
on.
me sometimes. Yeah, I'm almost Sebastian, not Gremlins, dude. No.
Like the line it's supposed to be walking is like the first half is like an overly wrought sort of teen drama, where like all of the characters are like yuppies, and you're sort of not supposed to care about them, and then like the second half is like just totally, their lives are destroyed, and it's sort of like cathartic in that way.
Yeah, if I really wanted to like nitpick Gremlins, I could, but like it's just good. Like it's just a fun
just a
80s
fun
movie.
I've never seen it.
It's a good one.
I mean, that's fair.
Also,
I think
it has aged incredibly well too.
probably. I mean, especially if you're talking in terms of like effects. I can't.
Yeah,
remember
the effects work on that is still really, really
I had
good.
someone the other day talk to me how they thought like the effects in Gremlins were awful. And I was like,
I'm talking about the actual like puppet, like
I agree.
like
Yeah.
really good.
And
Now Gremlins 2,
There's
we
no-
don't talk about the other
we don't.
ones.
No, I
Don't
feel
tell
like
you, that one's
I
pretty
feel like I remember preferring that one.
Okay, alrighty.
When you were like 8,
Yeah, one of like again, I think because the first one sort of turned me off. So when I watched the second one like a while ago, I was only like half watching because I was like, well, I don't like the first one, so why would I like the second one? But I do think I prefer it. But again,
Now you gotta watch Gremlins 2, Noah. Now you gotta watch Gremlins
yeah, I'm
2.
going to. I'm going to.
Okay, good.
I mean, both of them have been on my watch list, my unofficial watch list, I guess, not my actual watch list. This is my wife, Nora Ephron's directorial debut. One of those movies that has left like no footprint whatsoever, despite having like not like a huge cast, but I mean Carrie Fisher, Dan Aykroyd, voice of Marge Simpson as the lead, and obviously like Nora Ephron's, like debut. And it's like really good, so I have no idea why it's like super underseen. But yeah, check it out. Transformers, not great, but I mean, I don't know.
It's fun.
yeah. I'm definitely on the side of Transformers also being not great, but we got Mr. Collin over here.
Transformers great, dude. I love Transformers. It's so good.
So- But do you think
Camaro
it's
yellow?
What?
no?
It was black.
Yeah,
It was black.
Black. Oh.
but it was the Decepticon Transformer.
I did have a Decepticon.
Yeah.
Symbol
Yeah.
pocket.
Okay.
Like I wouldn't say like they're good movies, but they're just so stupid and fun. Like the majority of them. Some of them are
Yes.
pretty bad though. Like I think 2 is awful. 2 is
Actually, I like 2.
oh god damn it, dude.
They get bad at 3. The
Okay.
third one is where they get bad. Then 4 and 5 are just abysmal. They're
Marky
all-
Mark. Marky
Yeah,
Mark.
once Mark Wahlberg gets involved and Shia LaBeouf leaves, that's when
Yeah.
the series
Yeah,
gets
but I don't know.
I don't think it was ever like that high, but definitely went even further down after that point.
And then they were trying to like be all like, "Oh, guys, Stranger Things craze. Let's do Bumblebee."
And Bumblebee was awful. I hated Bumblebee.
Bumblebee was okay.
I have a feeling it would be my favorite of the franchise, and this is.
I think it
Oh,
would
nice.
be.
Yeah, I kind of liked it.
I think this is something I plan on actually completing over the next.
Really?
Month. Unless I like watch 4 and I'm like I cannot watch 5.
No, you have to watch 4 and 5 back to back. It'll change your life.
Okay. What was I gonna say? Oh, the other thing. I think I'm just not really a fan of Shia LaBeouf.
What?
No, I mean, I guess I kind of like him in like American Honey and Crystal Skull.
Hey guys, we're
But
stepping into
just
some
like in the first 2 of
really,
these movies, he's easily the worst part. And,
really
like,
controversial territory right now because Mr. Sexual Assaulter, guys, we gotta calm down.
What? Did he get
okay, I don't see how
sexual
that's
assault?
Yeah.
Whoa! You guys didn't know about that whole thing going on? Holy
No.
shit! Yeah, Shia
Okay.
LaBeouf is getting sued by his ex-girlfriend right now.
Oh, nice.
FKA Twigs for
Yes,
sexual
nice.
assault and abuse.
Well, that sucks. But I still like Shia LaBeouf as an actor.
No, I mean, yeah, that's totally fair. I definitely like people who are, like Robert De Niro or whoever. But anyway, I just think he's a huge charisma suck. Like, much prefer watching Megan Fox. Even prefer like a lot of the pretty poorly written side characters, like Totoro or whatever.
Yeah.
Who's also like not necessarily a bad performance, but just. God.
Dude, if
incredible.
I remember, it's been forever since I've seen Transformers 1. Isn't there like this scene with like near the beginning with like the microwaves, the transformer or something, or like the fridge or something, right?
I forget
I
if
think that's the
in-
second one.
Yeah, that's
It's
two.
definitely in the second
that-
one.
that's-
It's
right?
also in the first
It's
one.
the sliver he has of the cube left over, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
turns his whole
Okay,
kit
so maybe it's just the
Transformers.
second one.
Okay, all right. I just remember one of those scenes, and I was like, dude, this fucking movie.
In the finale of the first one, when he has the cube, he hits like a Mountain Dew
Yeah.
vending
That's
machine,
what it
and that
is.
turns
Yeah.
into one.
Yeah.
Oh yes, the
Start
product.
shooting like Mountain Dew cannons.
Yeah, the product placement in
Product placement, yeah,
Transformers
it's
is insane.
incredible.
I remember there was one in, I think it was 4 or 5 with Marky Mark that was just fucking batshit. It was Bud Light. It was a Bud Light
Yeah,
truck.
yeah. He takes the Bud Light truck, flips over, he grabs one, and just downs it.
Big blast.
Says a
Nothing like-
one-liner.
Yeah, nothing like
I
big
don't know,
blockbuster,
but I'm like a weird
product placement.
defender of like sort of Mark Wahlberg miscasts. Like I feel like he's miscast so often.
And
Like,
we're
in
about
Planet of the Apes, The Happening. He's just so like totally like
I can't wait to hear your
Uncharted?
thoughts
The
on
least
the 4th and
obvious
5th one
choice.
then.
yeah
Uncharted, dude.
Maybe
And we're about to get Uncharted with Marky Mark, like playing a supposed to be like a Latina man, or Latino, excuse me. Like, okay,
sounds incredible.
yep, can't
Yeah.
wait for that one.
Oh my god. Anyway, Shallow Grave on a Criterion disc. Pretty good. It's honestly been on my watch list for a while. Danny Boyle is sort of like one of those, I guess just sort of like directors who has been on my watch list for a while. Sort of like the Coen brothers, honestly. Like he's probably been on about as long, but then I finished the Coen brothers pretty quickly. And not so for Shallow Grave. But yeah, I don't know, man. Also, Eccleston is weirdly like one of my favorite actors compared to the amount of stuff that he's been in, which is basically like nothing. He's kind of like a Hiddleston in that regard. Like he seems to mostly just do theater, and also like Eccleston specifically seems to hate acting, honestly. Or at least he has a lot of like, yeah, I fucking hated doing that, so then I stopped. Like
Or two.
with Thor, yeah, and also Doctor Who. Man, it's great. It's great. Super cool. And Ewan, super young Ewan. I think this is actually the youngest. Not like the youngest he's ever been, of course, but I think the youngest I've
He was
seen
just
him in.
born at 20 something.
No, but you know what I mean. The youngest that you
I
can
know.
see him in anything.
Young
Yeah, and
still
certainly
cool.
he was in a Bill Forsyth movie, apparently, before that, but that's about it. And like, I think he was a TV actor for like literally 1 or 2 shows. But anyway, pretty good. Gaddock, which is a super weirdly structured movie. So like, have any of you seen it, Gattaca?
I watched about half an hour back in high school, got bored and turned it off.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like you go in expecting it to be about like you know, like he's going to become a pilot. He's going to like go to space. It's sort of like aspirational in that way. But most of it is about like him trying to hide the fact that he's not, like literally 80% of the plot is him trying to like hide the fact that he's not supposed to be there instead of him like training in any significant way, which is super weird. But I don't know, like Ethan Hawke and Jude Law are both, I mean, I guess Jude Law specifically is incredible. And Ethan Hawke and like Uma Thurman, Alan Arkin, etc. are all pretty good. I don't know, man. Jude Law is great. But I've watched this movie if Jude Law is not in it. What an interesting question. I don't know. It is pretty good. Let's see. The Manchurian Candidate. Hey, it's a great movie.
Really bad.
1965 version, not the 2004 version. Although the 2004 version is also pretty good. Although I think slightly less potent or whatever. I don't know. Honestly, I was really surprised with this one, especially coming off of what I remember from Cullen's review, because I do not find it to be slowly paced at all. Like, I mean, obviously at like 135 minutes, pretty much any movie at that length is going to be like slow in some sections. Like especially the finale is maybe a little dragged out, but I don't know. I didn't really find myself getting bored with it at all. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, there are certainly other criticisms that I understand, but none that I really super agree with. And that's just the one that I'm like, yeah, I don't know. But it's pretty good. And I don't know, man. Lawrence Harvey, pretty incredible. And obviously, like Angela Lansbury, she won. Whatever, I think she did. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. The Driver, which is another one of those, what do you call it? Sullivan's Travels movies that like everyone talks about, like seeing it and like, oh yeah, I just wanted to make like the Driver movie. Like, oh God, again, it's like Edgar Wright is like the obvious one, but I feel like there's another guy who talks about it all the time that I'm forgetting. Anyway, yeah, it's pretty good. It's like it's a movie where nobody even has any names, just you know, titles and everything. It's pretty great, pretty well lit. A lot of parking garage action. Garage movie.
You're talking about Drive?
No,
I'm
the
talking
Driver.
about the Driver.
Oh,
yeah,
That
but
inspired
you're
Drive,
right.
though.
Yes. Refn is the other
yeah.
guy who talks about it.
I was gonna say because I thought you said Drive, and I was like, oh, we're talking about Drive. I was like, cool.
Yeah. Song, which is, I mean, pretty funny because it has like a reputation as like, I guess maybe other than Tree of Life, as like the least good Malick. And the Tree of Life is sort of like a love it or hate it situation, and Song to Song is just sort of like a, you know, haha. Like it's very, very easy to make fun of. It's like Malick's style set over like yuppies who live in LA and write songs. Yeah, man.
Oh, sounds so amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, this song will change your life, etc. But man, Thomas, you want to hit pause there?
Nope.
Okay. So anyway, yeah, I don't know, but I liked it. I guess because at this point I'm just sort of like attuned to Malick's style, and I know when I want to see Malick, which I did that day. Twilight Saga: New Moon.
New Moon?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, New Moon.
Oh,
No, I'm just kidding. It's not great.
Dude, man, are you doing the whole marathon? Like, are
I
you
think so,
watching
yeah.
all of them? Oh,
Yeah.
Dude, you need to, please. Oh my
I
God,
will.
you need
I
to
will.
see.
I will.
Let me tell you real quick. Twilight, holy fuck, are they all awful? But it's like watching like if Tommy Wiseau got like a Hollywood budget and they made his wacky idea into a full saga. Like it literally is like room level acting. There's room level moments. Like it is awful, but holy shit, is it just a masterpiece. All of the Twilight movies are wonderful. I stand by that till the end of time. They're so bad.
Yeah.
I think in New Moon, that's the one where they have the big fight, right?
I mean, there's a bunch. Honestly, this one was so boring for like.
Maybe it was
90% of the
Eclipse.
time that it's, like,
I think maybe it's Eclipse. There's they have the werewolf and vampire fight, and like when they die, they turn into crystals Like they
That
get
did
like
not happen. That
Well,
did
yeah,
not
you're,
happen.
you're spoiling it for Noah.
no. It's like none of the main characters. It's like just random background
No,
like
I-
vampires you never see. Like they get
Spoilers,
fucking
though, man.
they get hit like or like get like swiped by a werewolf and they just turn into a fucking crystal. Like what the fuck? Who came up with that shit? Yeah. Anyway, I fucking love those movies.
whatever
And,
her name
and
is.
Taylor
Very
Lautner. Taylor Lautner is an awful fucking actor, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
I don't think he's ever coming back to. He's like living the high life,
Hey, good.
He's like-
writing that
Good for him.
fucking Twilight checks.
He
Yeah.
doesn't, dude. He's not afraid to admit it either. I've seen interviews. He's like, "Yeah, I was in Toy. I don't give a fuck."
But I don't know, man.
Just like that.
I mean, like,
Yeah, man. I
yeah,
was
for
in that
New Moon,
fucking movie.
it's so heavily focused on like the Lautner storyline and just like the werewolf storyline in general, which is so much more uninteresting than the Pattinson stuff from the first movie. And like when Pattinson comes back and when he's there in the beginning, it's like infinitely more watchable, even though it's still not as good as the first one, I think.
I agree.
But yeah, I don't know. So anyway, we'll see where this goes. Hopefully, less werewolves in the future.
Definitely not
Furious-
the franchise I expected you to be benching though.
Why not? I mean, I like the first one, so I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Why the hell not?
Dude, it
You
gets,
know, that's a good
it
point.
gets
You
so
did
much
say
better.
you did talk a lot of praise about the first.
And I do like Pattinson and Stewart like quite a lot as actors.
Yeah.
So, you know,
They're just not.
Yeah.
They're not at their peak in the Twilight movies.
yeah, because it's, I mean, it's not like the first movies or anything, but it's very, well,
Really.
yeah. I guess it's not even that close to their first movies.
Well, isn't it Pattinson saying
He
his
might be,
second
actually.
movie because Harry
Yeah.
Potter was his first? Something like that.
Was it? Yeah, it's definitely closer to the beginning of his career than the beginning of hers.
Yep.
Anyway, Fearless Hyena on, yeah, which is a Jackie Chan movie. Specifically his, so like it's his directorial debut, but he's credited as like dialogue and action director, and then there's another person who's also credited as a director. But like dialogue and action is just like everything, right? So did the other person just direct like B-roll? Like I don't really.
The second unit did
understand.
everything else.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, it is pretty good. Although I think a lot of the fight scenes are mostly just like Jackie Chan like punching a person, which is less interesting than the sort of clips that I've seen because I haven't actually seen any of his actual movies. But a lot of these sort of like prop / stunt / environment work that he tends to do, which definitely pops up in like a couple of the fight scenes. But it is mostly just like hand-to-hand combat, which is still choreographed really well. Just gets boring after seeing it like, literally 15 times. Or at least a little boring. Not even that boring, honestly. Like I said, it's pretty good. It's actually really good. Speed. It's great. It's one of those movies where, it's just been on my watch list for a while because it's always overhyped. And so I just knew I had to wait for like 13 months until I was in the exact right mood to watch it. And I was, and I watched it, and it was great. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah. I mean, like, everybody in it is giving, like, an A+ performance. Weirdly, like, A+ dialogue from, the actual writer, and then, like, Joss Whedon, who I occasionally have problems with. I mean, dialogue-wise. Obviously. Graham Yost. Yeah. Also, like, it's really unclear how much of the dialogue Joss Whedon wrote, at least like in terms of when you're looking for that stuff, like in interviews or online. So yeah, I don't really know who to thank for this movie, but it's pretty good. Keanu's great. So it's like Sandra, Dennis, Alan, etc. Where was I? Daybreakers, which I forget if it was this one or another movie. I think it was this one, but it was at like 1 a.m. and I couldn't sleep, so I just put on a random movie. This was either on like Tubi or Peacock or something like that. Honestly, it's a sort of interesting watch because it's one of those, not exactly indie movies, but like lower budget. I guess like Upgrade maybe is a good example. Sort of like a lower budget movie from a auteur director who doesn't really get a lot of, although in this case it's parent directors. Anyway, you know what I mean. It's like a vampire movie where vampires have taken over the world, so they're like the dominant species, and humans are on the run for the most part. Ethan Hawke is a vampire, and Willem Dafoe is a human. What will happen? Although Willem Dafoe,
Will happen.
yeah, what will happen? Man, he's really bad and like a really like annoyingly written character.
Wait, who is?
Oh no.
Willem Dafoe.
Oh no.
Like,
Well, oh no, not Willem Dafoe.
How do you
Yeah,
mess
I'm
up
trying
Willem?
I'm trying to think of a good example, but it's like, I mean, it's sort of like the dynamic you'd expect between like Ethan Hawke and Willem Dafoe, where Ethan Hawke is like a weird, and also like, you know, vampire human, like where he's like a weird sort of a artsy, like highbrow kind of soft-spoken guy, and Willem Dafoe is like, nah, well, you gotta. He also has like like he's playing it Southern, but he doesn't really have a Southern accent. But he's talking like not exactly, like I literally don't know how to describe it. It's just you know, it's sort of like this.
It's like a Sebastian impersonation.
Yeah, exactly. It literally is. It's like, what is this supposed to be? And yeah, I mean, he's literally called Elvis, which is so fucking annoying. My God. So yeah, I mean, but there's also a lot of like interesting sort of CGI and world design and like vampire tech that comes up. Like all of the cars have blackout windows and like 360-degree cameras, and they show that quite a lot because they're like car chase sequences. So I don't know, and it's pretty short. So, but again, man, watched Saved, which is a pretty fun comedy. Honestly, not a lot to say about that one other than, you know, Jenna Malone, Macaulay Culkin. I don't actually think I've seen in anything other than that one. So it's kind of weird to see him, you know, as a person. I mean, he's still like 18 or whatever, but still. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, which Colin and I for once agree on. Pretty exhilarating.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, came away with most of the same takeaways as Colin. It's just like, I don't know exactly what that was, but it was pretty fun and scary and weird and tense. And another, like, not super slow movie, although I think the first half is much faster than the second half.
I'd agree with that.
So, you know, pretty fun. And then Transformers, the second one, which honestly, I guess similar to the Fast and the Furious movies, I'd kind of forgotten that I had watched it, and then I forget which scene exactly, maybe like the college moving in scene, probably somewhere around there. I was like, oh yeah, I've definitely seen this before.
So
really bad, like much worse than the first one, which again is not great, but is certainly interesting in a lot of ways. The second, like, what is there even to say? Megan Fox is in much less of it, so that's already a downside. I mean, I don't like Shia LaBeouf, as I mentioned, so that's a downside. Worse characters, like worse written characters, worse performances, a lot more just like 10-minute sequences of robots fighting, which is not that fun. I mean, although it is kind of like a mindless, numbing thing, but I don't know, like 10 minutes is too long. Come on, man. Make it shorter. So yeah, not good. Sweetie, a Jane Campion movie. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't really have a lot to say. It's pretty fun. Yeah, all right, so. All right, I mean, one more thing, maybe two, honestly. But Great Expectations, like, not Great Expectations. I mean, like, I don't even know what
Oh!
Thank you, everyone.
Got him!
I mean, it's a real, like, what the fuck is going on movie in that it's an adaptation of a Charles Dickens novel adapted by Alfonso Cuarón, who had only done one Mexican and one British movie. So it's an adaptation of a British novel, but it's set in half Florida and half New York, starring an American cast. Only his second, like, or I guess one of two of Cuarón's American movies, which he didn't return to for like 16 years until Gravity.
Nice.
Again, it's just like a real, like, every decision is like baffling. Like Ethan Hawke casting, great choice. Setting it in Florida, super weird choice. Why is Robert De Niro in this? I mean, like, he's good. Why is like Chris Cooper in this? Also honestly pretty good. I don't even know. Yeah, I mean, mostly just watched it so that I could, you know, finish off Cuarón's filmography, which I did. Nice. Definitely the worst thing there, and I think the only one that he's really been like, yeah, I kind of regret making that, or I don't know about regret, but at least, you know, he's admitted that it has some problems. Yeah, and then like Mungo earlier today, technically,
Nice.
although yesterday.
All right. Thomas,
Yeah.
you wanna go?
Yeah.
Thomas speedrun.
I didn't log
Thomas
anything, but I watched Total Recall, right? Timeless
Oh my
classic.
god, you watched Total Recall?
But the 2012 one of Colin Farrell.
Oh,
I was about to say, I bet it's the Colin Farrell one.
Jesus
Yeah, I had
Christ.
to watch it for class.
Oh, is this your physics
Yeah,
class?
this is my physics class. I have papers about films.
So,
It's
You're
so
just like,
dumb.
excellent film. Colin
Is it-
Farrell is fantastic.
No, he
is it because
specifically
of the
says in the
tunnel that
syllabus-
like goes under the earth? Is that why? Like why?
No,
why this?
I don't know. I don't know why she picked
Like-
the Prestige.
Your professor's just like sci-fi, dude.
The Prestige
That's all it is.
sort of makes sense. Total Recall does not make like it has to do with like dreams and memory. It's not.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird, and I told myself I'm gonna watch the actual good Total Recall. And honestly,
It's
this Total Recall
so
was
good.
fine. Like it was kind of a fun sci-fi spy romp. But I mean,
That's
it's still just
probably true.
something
Like, I just had to
mindless
watch
to put
it,
on the
but-
side.
Man, I was honestly thinking about, and I always say this though, about like rewatching, some random movie, Total Recall. It's one of my favorite movies. It's like an incredible, it's just such a good time. It's
Good.
great.
Alright.
Oh,
Yeah, so Total Recall on Lake Mungo. I took my time there, right? The speedrun wasn't completely there.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it wasn't, but you
The timestamps will be spread out a little bit more
Good
this
job.
Thank you, Sebastian. I appreciate
Fantastic.
it.
Yes, sir. Of course.
No. Bump it, bro.
Bump it. Bro fist.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Go next, Colin. Start talking.
Okay. So I had a pretty slow 2 weeks actually. I busted out 1, 2, 3, 4.
How could you? I'm so disappointed in you, Colin. You're always just so
All right, Colin.
busy.
Leave the Zoom. Leave the Zoom, Colin.
If I leave, then the whole meeting's over.
Leave the Zoom, Colin.
But yeah, I was busy, Sebastian. I'm sorry. I was busy.
Yeah,
With...
no excuses, man. I watched so many movies, okay?
But hey, so I know I said last time I was pretty much done with the DC animation, but I decided to bust out 4 of the DC showcase shorts all on the same day.
God damn it, Colin. What'd you do to yourself?
They weren't bad. I mean, only one of them was kind of bad. Sergeant Rock, weird.
Yeah.
Carl Urban plays, World War II sergeant in the army, who is tasked with leading this elite task force made up of Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and a vampire to take down an evil Nazi experimentation guy with a metal arm who's turning soldiers into Nazi zombies. It was a blast. I had a lot of fun with it. Really weird, but hey, it's somehow it worked. Then Adam Strange, honestly, couldn't really tell you much of what happened in this one. I don't remember. I remember that some bug-looking creatures came out of a cave, attacked a city. There was snow, but that's about it. It was okay, but not very memorable. Phantom Stranger, definitely the worst one. Although the main character here looks so cool. I mean, this is a suave dude. He has a really cool outfit, has a really nice voice. I don't really remember who voiced him, but he just seems like a cool guy. But it's just really dumb. So the main antagonist in this film, the big villain, his name is Seth.
Seth McGee?
It's just Seth. It's just Seth. It's not like Seth.
Wait, Seth the Sloth? Seth the Sloth? He's just the ultimate villain. He's just there. He's just, yeah, guys.
No, this guy was kind of like frat boy hippie combo with like.
sounds great.
Yeah, it was weird, but his name was Seth, and he had this little amulet around his neck that would just suck the life force out of virgins or something like that. And it was just really bad, really dumb. I couldn't get past.
What was the one movie that we've been memeing on? The Magnum movie, the condom movie.
Trojan War.
Yeah. I'm like, that's his power. He just has a magnum condom that sucks the fucking virginity out of virgins. Oh man, that's incredible.
Well, he's also kind of a Satanist or something like that. It doesn't really make any sense. You don't really get.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen it, but I want to watch it now.
It's not good. But man, Seth the bad guy, it was just incredible. Then finally I watched this showcase called Death, which was pretty good, actually quite emotional. After that, I watched Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yes, sir.
All 4 hours and 2 minutes in one go. And it wasn't bad. Definitely a vast improvement over the theatrical version we got a few years ago. But I still had the same issues with this movie, just on a lesser scale. It still has cringy dialogue, cringy jokes. Some of the acting is not very good. Special effects aren't great. This is a very long movie. I didn't need to be over 4 hours long. It really didn't. But,
Studio said, and you saw what we got. SMH, Colin.
Wait, what?
I said that's what the studio said, but then you saw what we got. Needed all 4 hours.
4 hours, I don't dislike it, but I don't really like it either. It's just kind of like middle ground. Like, I'm glad it got made. I think it's kind of cool that it even happened in the first place. But I don't know if I'll ever watch it again. I might watch clips, because there are some really cool moments. But man, Sebastian, I'm talking about the Central City sequence was just laughable.
Look, man, look.
So I'll just tell you guys, because it's not really a big spoiler or anything, but
no.
So you know how Zack Snyder loves his slow-mo. There is a sequence where a truck driver, he's eating a hamburger while he's driving, and he drops the hamburger.
Is it a Zack Snyder meal hamburger?
Ooh. But possibly. Oh my god.
Wait, that might be a tie-in.
That'd be awesome if it was.
Like, is there any packaging, or is it just a...
The hot dogs, too.
Random wrapper. I don't know. I couldn't make out any brand. But anyway, he's...
brand, but I forgot.
There was? Okay, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he's driving. He has hamburger in hand, one hand on the steering wheel. He's driving, drops the hamburger. Oh, no. He's trying to pick up the hamburger from his seat, but he's still driving. He doesn't see that the light has turned red up ahead.
So
and
he's in a truck and he dropped a hamburger and he's trying to pick it up. That seems like not a great,
Exactly. I mean,
this is true. This is
this
is the scene. So Iris West, the love interest of Flash, is coming up in the intersection, right? She doesn't see big truck bear.
Because well, you forgot to mention they were awkwardly staring at each other for about 4 minutes, and she's sitting there like just staring back at him.
They're just staring at him. Yeah, because Barry Allen, he was trying to get a job at a pet store or something like that, dog walking place, and she came out of that place, and then they started looking at each other. But anyway, that's besides the point. They were looking at each other. Iris West didn't see big truck coming down the intersection, and Truckman's still trying to pick up his burger. Anyway, big truck collides with Iris West's car, and we get super slow-mo HD CG sesame seeds flying off of the burger bun. And then there's a hot dog stand that also gets hit. Hot dogs flying in slow motion. Oh, it was incredible. It was.
It's not good, but it's also just funny. Like it's interesting.
Both my least favorite and favorite sequence of the entire movie.
It's honestly something special. It truly is. Only Zack Snyder could come up with something like that, dude.
Yeah, I mean, like, you see this sesame seed fly off the bun, and it's so close, and it's so perfect CG. It's like, what in the world? I just, I thought I'd share that. It was very.
And then Barry Allen awkwardly caressing her hair in midair, a slow mo, like being like really kind of like rapey a little bit. Very interesting.
He just didn't want the hair in her face.
Yeah. Like she's like still like in the air, and he's like literally like caressing her hair, and like it was very.
I don't know. It didn't seem that weird to
me. But to me it was just a little weird. It's like, dude, you just met this girl like 2 seconds ago, and now you're just like caressing her hair, and anyway.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Wait, you know what? So is Cavill's like upper lip still there, or did they like reshoot a lot?
No, because this was before. Yeah, that was all the reshoots. Right. Yeah, so none of that's there.
Yeah, so
it's not there at all.
No bad Henry Cavill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything is original like footage of Henry Cavill, so it's like actually good.
Well,
so
I figured
we get the natural upper lip.
I just wasn't sure.
Yep. It's good.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot more characterization and stuff to all the characters. A lot more stuff happens. The plot makes more sense. I actually really liked Steppenwolf this time around, and his armor's pretty freaking cool. So not bad, but like I said, I don't know if I'd ever watch it in full again. After that, continuing my Brian De Palma class, we watched Blowout, which this is the first great De Palma film I've seen, I think. John Travolta is incredible in this movie, and the plot itself was really interesting. It goes off the rails at the end. There's a side plot that you think is gonna tie in, and then it does, but then the main plot just gets forgotten about. And so you're like, oh wait, what about that? But anyway, it was really good. Really well paced. John Travolta's great. He really makes the movie, and it's a cool little plot too. Sound design was really cool. After that, in my film history class, we had to watch Aguirre, The Wrath of God, one of Werner Herzog's early narrative films. And I thought this was pretty bad. I did not enjoy it at all. It was just really boring, really long, really slow. I didn't really care about anything that was happening. Then I read about the making of the movie, which is 10 times more interesting than the movie itself, because they had an 8-person crew and they just went into the Amazon with all these people dressed as Spanish conquistadors, and they literally built their own rafts. Like there's a crazy river sequence where they're going down the Amazon River and they hit rapids, and they're literally like the entire cast and crew is literally on like handcrafted rafts in these rapids. Like anyone could have died. Like the whole cast and crew could have died while shooting this movie. And it's just insane to see it captured on film, because you can see that like the cameraman is bracing for his life as he's filming it. And there's
what the fuck
on the actors' faces. Yeah, it's wild. So like I would love to see if they had done it like a behind the scenes documentary of the making of this movie or something. But as for the movie itself, I just wasn't really a fan. Also, the lead here, Klaus Kinski, apparently he and Werner Herzog just like got into it every day on set, and it was just miserable filming. But yeah, wild.
That's bizarre.
Wild making of the movie. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, if you guys can look up that rapid sequence, because it is like the whole time I was watching, I was like, oh my god, I'm about to watch an actor die in the movie. It was crazy.
Christ.
Then this past week in my diploma class, we watched Scarface, and this was the first time I'd seen Scarface, and it was incredible. I really liked it. I liked it better than Blowout. So we got 2 great diploma films back to back.
Now, which Scarface? You have to clarify.
Brian De Palma.
2022 version.
Okay, good. I just wanted more clarification.
Yeah, I mean, it's a diploma class, so it's not going to be the 30s one.
Okay, because I'm really looking forward to the Luca one. That's gonna be a fantastic masterpiece. Yeah. So we're gonna have to clarify ×3 now.
All right. Well, yeah. To clarify once again, this is Scarface from 1983, directed by Brian De Palma, written by Oliver Stone.
Wonderful.
Wait, what?
Starring
Al Pacino and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
All right. Who's the DOP?
I couldn't tell you. I'm sorry.
All right. Best boy.
Oh yes, best boy. But anyway, Scarface was really good. 3 hours flew by. Really well paced. Just so energetic. And I mean, Al Pacino is just incredible in this.
You talking to me? You want some more?
He's so good. And the production design in particular is just absolutely incredible. Like I couldn't imagine filming on set, because like holy moly. I mean, it just looks amazing. Like every set piece, I was like, oh my god, this is insane. How much money did this cost to make? But yeah, also the score, like the synth score, is it was just awesome to hear, and the big screening room. It was just great to see. Really, really enjoyed it. And Oliver Stone's script was really good. I'm usually not a fan of Brian De Palma's writing, but seeing him direct another person's script it worked out. Scarface, great. Then in my film history class this week, we watched Rocky, and this was the first time I'd seen Rocky as well, which I also very much enjoyed. Sylvester Stallone is honestly like really good in this movie. I really wasn't expecting much from him, but
He's got a lot of heart. He's got a lot of heart in that performance.
There is a lot of heart. Like, this is probably like one of the most sympathetic characters I've seen in film. You just can't help but root for him. You know, the whole time you're like, dang, this guy's life sucks, but he's such a good guy. I hope he does good. And then like the finale was awesome. And it was just, yeah, really good movie. Well shot, well acted, well written, lots of good character depth and emotion there. I very much enjoyed it. And the score, great again. And then last night I rewatched Lake Mungo. We'll get to shortly. So
all right, here we go. Zack Snyder's Justice League. I started. What is it? It's been like a week and a half now, 2 weeks since the movie came out. I don't even remember. Whatever. I watched it. I loved it. Again, it has issues. Like Colin said, that sequence is ridiculous. But literally every single aspect is improved upon from Joss Whedon's version. I watched Joss Whedon's version like the day or two before, and it is just like fucking night and day. Like, you have really awkward, just random reshoot dialogue that makes absolutely no sense. And then you have Zack Snyder's version, and you're like, dude, like, what the fuck was Joss Whedon doing? Like, was he on some kind of ego trip? Because there's so much dialogue that Joss Whedon just reshot, and it's like, dude, like, why? Like, again, yeah, I'm definitely bleeding line was really cringy, and like there's like lots of dialogue from the old version, but like in this version the movie is so cohesive and it has like an actual plot. And Cyborg, it's very easy to see why Ray Fisher was pissed. It's very easy to see why Ray Fisher was really mad at Joss Whedon this entire time, because they literally took out his entire character and just tossed it into the trash. And then in Zack Snyder's version, you get a fully fleshed out character arc for Cyborg. Again, pretty much every single aspect is improved upon. Again, it's still not like, it still has its faults. It still has some problems, but like overall, like I think it's fucking outstanding. And it's just incredible that I even got to see it. But it still is just kind of baffling to me that like how much the studio just tossed in the trash. And we're just like, yeah, let's get a new director in. Let's finish this movie. It's just kind of just a really fucked situation. I'm kind of just glad Zack Snyder got to prevail. And now Warner Brothers is kind of shitting their pants because they don't know what to do now. Because massive success for HBO Max. Fucking subscribers through the roof to watch it. And everyone's praising it. And now Warner Brothers is like, yeah, we're not doing any more. So they're in a real tough situation now. Can't wait to see the outcome of the DCEU going forward. It's going to be a very interesting one to watch. After that, I watched Watchmen again. I just kind of wanted to see how Zack Snyder has come in terms of his filmmaking and everything. And it's very interesting, the parallels between Watchmen and his Justice League. They're very similar. And Watchmen was only made over a decade ago. It's just kind of crazy. And something I kind of think about with Watchmen is it's like, dude, what if Zack Snyder had made that today? Like, it's just kind of insane. I think he filmed it like I think it's a fantastic movie, but I think it's just kind of interesting to think about. Like, I think he filmed it too early. That's what Nolan said. Nolan was like, Nolan thinks that Snyder had filmed Watchmen too early in his career. He's like, if you had done it later in your career, it could have been like even better. It's just interesting to think about with like his how he progressed in his filmography, like how that movie could have turned out in today's standards. But still, love it. Very interesting to kind of rewatch after Justice League. And that's it. That's all I watched. And then I watched like Mungo last night. The only other thing I'm going to mention that I did watch, but I don't think I'm going to be able to log it on Letterboxd. I've been watching Invincible, a new Amazon Prime show. Star-studded fucking cast. You have Steven Yeun. You have J.K. Simmons. You have just all these incredible actors. The comic is great. And the show is off to a very good start so far. And the animation is like a mix of like anime and then like modern animation. It's very strange. It's like
reminded
more
me of like a Sunday cartoon, you know?
Yeah, but it's like
Sunday
also kind of like anime inspired a little bit because they have like these like duels and you're like, this is so anime. And I really like it. Literally, my only complaint is in the third episode, and I just look. I hate being political, but I hate when movies and shows they just put in like nonsensical politics when it isn't in the original story at all. Like there's like character that just like it doesn't even matter like what their political views are, and they're like, oh yeah, she's a fourth wave feminist, ha ha ha, and I'm like, dude, did I need to know that? This is a superhero show, and this isn't in the comic book. Like why do you have to inject your own personal politics into this art? Like really? And that just kind of annoys me in like anything. Like again, it's just like I watch something to kind of be taken away. This is a superhero show. I don't need to be reminded of like, oh, all this political bullshit that you're gonna throw into the show. Again, it's really good, but that's only the only complaint I have. Like it didn't take me out of it too hard, but there's like a multiple like references in the third episode that I'm just like, really? Like, why did the creators who are making this animation have to inject their personal politics? It's just annoying. Anyway, like Mungo. I have had this on my watch list for quite a long time. I've been wanting to get around to it. I have a whole bunch of found footage movies that I have been wanting to watch, and this is one of them because I've heard over the years that it is quite the film to watch, and it is one of the best found footage movies of all time. And I would honestly say I would probably have to agree. I gave it 4 stars, but upon just thinking about it, I'm probably going to end up rewatching it and bringing it higher down the line. But holy fuck, this movie is really great. I immediately was kind of gripped by the fucking opening, just the opening dialogue from Alice and shit. I'm like, dude, okay, this is gonna be a fucking wild movie, and it definitely is. I really just love how this movie it doesn't like straight up like is like a paranormal movie. It's like, do you want to believe that this family is really going through this paranormal haunting, or is it they're doing it for publicity, or are they?
It feels like a real documentary.
Yeah, it's legit. Yeah, and that's why I liked it so much, and it's just so interesting, and I was really gripped. The story is fascinating. The way that it's presented, it literally, I think I probably like this better than Blair Witch, to be quite honest. It felt so much more real and grounded, and like it had just a much more interesting story, and I was engaged the entire time. I thought the acting all felt super real, like the family and the grief and everything they're going through. I was like, this is pretty great. So yeah, I think this movie was pretty great for what it was trying to go for, and from all the praise I've heard over the years, I definitely would have to agree. I think it's quite excellent. I would definitely put it up there with some of the best found footage movies I've seen. Definitely is a standout for me. Definitely stand out. So yeah, I quite enjoyed it. Thought it was great.
I agree. I mean, rewatching it, I felt about the same, maybe a little less keen on it than the first time, because when you watch it again, you can pick out some things that don't quite make a lot of sense, or just feel like they were kind of forced in to be like a red herring or a like twist to be revealed later on or something like that.
But, like with the pictures and all that. And
yeah, some there are some inconsistencies and maybe a few contradictions here and there, but nothing like too detracting. Like Sebastian said, the acting is really it feels really real. I mean, the whole presentation of the film, from like just getting the news coverage, the cell phone footage, the home video stuff, the photos, it all feels like it's an actual documentary come together. And it feels really genuine and authentic in that fact. I like how it progresses, and it is a slow burn, but
yeah,
you engaged because you have all these twists and reveals continuously popping up, and it does feel like a documentary in that it's trying to show you from more objective standpoint than more of maybe like a subjective standpoint, multiple perspectives, and then it kind of lets you think what you want by the end, which is I think what a documentary should do. And in that sense, I think it's really good. I like it.
This is not a documentary, so.
Well, yeah, but
it's
I know what you mean. It's
Yeah.
pretending to be a documentary.
But it's just kind of like interesting thinking about like in terms of like horror movies. I haven't really seen a horror movie, even found footage movie like this. It's just like so like the issues and like topics and like that it's kind of talking about. I just haven't seen like a horror movie kind of like execute before. I wouldn't even really call this a horror movie, to be honest, but you know, kind of.
I think
but
definitely in the close.
Yeah, but like you know what I mean. Like it's not really like the when you think
the main
of horror,
focus isn't horror.
Yeah.
It's a lot more subtle than like a lot of the modern horror movies.
Yeah, and that's just kind of why I'm honestly kind of fascinated by it. Like it's just such an interesting way to execute a movie, and like the issues and the grief and the way that everything's presented. It's just so interesting for a horror movie, and I've never seen anything like it. And I don't think I've seen. I don't know. There might be other movies that are similar to this, but like I haven't seen a movie quite like this movie. It's very very unique.
Yeah, it feels really grounded in its portrayal of its characters and its exploration of like grief and loss and those themes and stuff. But yeah, and that jump scare, like it does get scary. Yeah, even the second time around, when I knew it was coming, I was like having to watch through my fingers. It wasn't like one of those where you're like you jump, but you're just like watching through your fingers because it's so eerie and unsettling. It's really effective. All right, who hated it?
It really freaks me out.
Yeah. Did it actually scare you, Noah?
Yes. I mean, this is like one of the things that is most unsettling to me about horror movies, like specifically the type of things that it goes for. And yeah, I mean, I don't really have a lot to say other than mostly agreeing with you guys and literally just like I said, like watching it at midnight. This is like designed to freak me specifically out. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like,
see, I didn't know. I was just like, I had just heard it was like a found footage movie. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, it can't be that bad. So I'm sorry, it scared the fuck out of you. But like,
no, it didn't really. It was more just like, you know, I watched it at midnight and then immediately I had to like go plug my computer in and I was like, oh, fuck, this is not a fun feeling to have right now. Especially because my light switch is all the way over there. What else was I going to say?
It's just really effective.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically my takeaway. And the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm like, is it even good? But it's definitely effective. Definitely.
Thomas,
any thoughts?
What you thinking?
No, I liked it. Thought it was a good little horror found footage film that really effectively used its actors, effectively used the whole premise, and yeah, it was pretty good. I don't think it was like my favorite thing in the whole world, but I was entertained the whole way through.
I would say it's like even one of my favorite horror movies, but I mean, it might be down the road. I'm just done. There's just something very unique about it that I very much enjoyed. I'm very glad that I finally got around to seeing this movie because, man, I have been hearing whispers from fucking all over the internet for years, and I've never actually got around to watching it. And then I think I did see the Chris Stuckman review a while ago about it, and I was like, dude, I got to watch this movie eventually. Like, I've heard so much about it. So,
and they're actually coming out with an exclusive Blu-ray for the movie.
Oh, really?
Just kind of because this was only released on like I think a horror anthology DVD like years ago.
Yeah, I knew a strange release about it.
That's actually pretty cool. This guy hasn't even done anything since this movie.
This was his only feature film.
Which is kind of crazy because, I mean, dude, this guy could have done a lot of cool shit, to be quite honest. I thought his directing in this movie was pretty great. Again, he did a great job of making it feel so grounded and real. Man, we always find, like, on this show, we always find, like, some just movies, and we're like, damn, like, that director just didn't do anything. And it's just kind of sad because it's, like, such a wasted potential, and you're just like, damn, like, is this going to be me? Am I just going to make, like, a fucking one-hit movie and just never make a movie again? It's just kind of, sucks, man.
The worst road to go down, though.
Yeah, I know,
especially for this guy more than most people. It just seems like he had a pretty good idea and executed it well. And it doesn't really seem like he just wants to do anything. Although, again,
that could very well be the thing too.
But yeah, like Mungo, I think it was pretty great. I give it a 4 for now. But I think down the road, honestly, I'm probably going to give it a better rating.
4 out of 10. Oh no!
4 out of 5.
Yes.
4 out of 5. So
I'm keeping my original score as well. It's decent 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm a 6 out of 10. I like it.
6 out of 10.
All right, yeah.
What do you want me to say?
That's fine with me. I didn't want you to say anything else.
Yeah, we're all content.
Overall, it's a 7.
Yeah,
That's pretty
perfect,
solid.
Not bad. Not
All of
bad.
us liked it. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah, pretty solid.
No, I mean it's above a 5. So I mean that's a general consensus of it was good.
It's good.
Yeah, everyone liked it.
It's
Yeah.
good.
A good post-pro recommendation.
Not a bad pick then. I mean Noah didn't hate it. So I mean that's good.
All right. So with that, it is my pick for this upcoming week, and
Like Mungo 2.
I figured you need to go out and make Lake Mungo 2. What do you guys think of that? Make a movie.
I have a pitch for it already.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Hit up the studios?
Yeah, here we go. Real quick, a 30-second pitch. Director Joe Anderson has been missing for years, and he hasn't made a movie. And it follows how he's haunted by the actual ghost from Lake Mungo and how it actually turns out to be real. There you go, bam. 30 seconds.
You always hear sequel pitches like that sound like really good, and then they just don't get made. Except for adaptation, which is great.
So for this week's pick, I'm thinking, we after coming off of Lake Mungo, we gotta settle down, watch something light. That's why we're going to watch the entire Decalogue.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
April Fools, guys. Get it? Because it's April Fools.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So,
Well, I don't even know what that is. So, I mean, like...
it's a 10-piece, heavy drama.
Thomas called it, or whatever he called it.
I just said the wrong country. I was right about everything else. I just said the wrong country.
No, I know.
Yeah. It's a 10-piece, anthology, I guess you could call it. Heavy drama about, I think it's the 10 Commandments.
It's about like a housing crisis in some country.
Wait. What?
Well, that's what it's about. Yeah. Is it metaphorically about the 10 Commandments?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it was the housing. Oh, it's focusing on. Yeah, I think it's about the housing crisis, and it focuses on the people living the complex in
inspired by the 10 Commandments, ethical dilemmas as they live in a austere housing project in 1980s Poland. So both of you are.
Okay.
Oh yes,
Anyway.
in total.
That's
almost,
not what we're
10
going to be
hours.
watching. That was just a joke. But I do have 3 picks that we can choose amongst. All right, so
They're a B movie, yeah. Instead of the other one was.
no, but I do want to keep it kind of in spirit that today is April Fool's. So it's going to be it's going to be a silly film. Now I have 3 options. One is B movie. I thought that'd be really funny. 2 is a film directed by notorious German filmmaker Uwe Boll, and it's called Assault. It's called Assault on Wall Street. It seems incredible, and it's on Tubi. And then the third one is a Bollywood film, which I heard is supposed to be just absolutely insane. It's called The Fly, and it's about this guy who is killed, and he's reincarnated as a fly and seeks revenge on the man who has taken his girl. So, yeah. What do you?
Wow, it's
Looking forward to all of these.
it's a real tough choices, sir.
All right, I'm going Assault on Wall Street. I need to see some.
Yeah, I'm down for that too.
filmmaking.
Yeah, I'm down for that too.
All right, that was actually what I was kind of hoping for too. So
Awesome.
There we go. Assault on Wall Street. I'm going to be talking about an Uwe Boll film next week. That's gonna be great.
Yeah, that'll be a good little discussion.
It will. I mean, I hope so. Either that or we'll just have nothing to say.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What in the fuck, dude? This I'm excited to watch this. All right, this looks fucking like a straight to DVD movie. All right, can't wait.
Yeah.
Isn't that all Uwe?
What?
Isn't that all Uwe? Straight to DVD.
No, I think he has some theatrical releases.
Really?
But
He did get J.K. Simmons to play a adaptation of what's that game? So maybe I'm doubting.
Oh, he had some names in some of his movies. Like Jason Statham was in a series he did. But anyway, we have less than a minute to go. So next week, Assault. Oh God, Assault on Wall Street. This week we talked about Lake Mungo. Next week, Assault on Wall Street. So yeah, heck yeah. Post Pro
Heck yeah.
Podcast. Signing out now.
Bye.
Oh,